Hi everyone, Ginger here. Boy, do I have a fun project for us to do together today. This black and white piece here is just the basics, or a template that I'm going to guide you through. I've never made a video like this before. It's going to be super fun. What you're going to do is you're going to pick some colors that I'll explain here in a moment, and as I guide you through how to make this particular design, you will be applying the colors that you choose to the process to create something with your own flavor of whatever you're feeling today for your colors. Let me show you an example of what I created using this process. So this one here has, as you can see, the same shape, the same size dots, but I have picked the colors. So here's what you're going to need. I'll show both of them here as we talk about the colors. So for your colors, I want you to pick two colors that contrast each other. So for one of the colors, we're going to call it the pop of color. You only need one shade of that. So over here, I have this beautiful mustard yellow as my pop of color. You also will need white, and then you need 3 shades of your other color. We're going to call that dark shade, light shade, and very light shade. So that's what you need for colors for this project. So you're going to pick your colors, put the video back on, and follow along as I paint this version and you apply the colors that you have selected. Still following the same tool sizes, still following the same steps as to where the dots go, but you're going to create something with your own personal self applied into it with the colors you select. It's going to be really fun. So the other things you're going to need for this project are our dotting tools. So you can use either our set of 7 dotting tools or our set of 8 dotting tools. Today I use with these two our set of 7 dotting tools, and I got a mandala that is about 4.5 inches across. If you use our other dotting tools, the set of 8, you're going to get a smaller version. The process will be exactly the same, but you'll get a result that is about 2.5 inches or a little bit smaller. So make sure you've got a surface that's painted black and the right size for the tools you're using. You also start out in the center with tool 2 and white paint. Now pick your pop of color. If you haven't already, it is going to be our next step. And with tool 6, set up an 8-point mandala structure. So out of your shades of color that you have, you're going to take the light color and tool 5 for your next step. You can see I was positioning it right between the spaces of the dots that I created in the last step. For step D, we're going to take white paint. In tool 7, we're going to make 2 dots in each section that align with the center. So here's my first set. I'll do 1, 2, just like that, aligning outwards from the center. Then I reapply my paint, and I can either work down here at the bottom or turn my piece and work from the side. But I always like to, or from a different spot at the top or bottom. I always like for my dots to be happening from either at the bottom or the top. So I'm just going to keep repeating that for all 8 sections. So for step E, we're going to take out of our shades of color our darkest one in tool 4 and create a dot that is building out on the line that we were just working on. So there it is, building outwards. And I'll just make my camera a little bit brighter so we can see that a little bit better. For the next step, take that same dark shade and tool 7, and you're going to do what I call the special taper around those dark dots that you just created. And you'll see me do it here. So to do this special taper, the first dot aligns with the center, and then you pick either going around the left or the right, however many little dots need to emerge. And then when you do the opposite side, you touch first over that beginning dot. That just makes it a little bigger and aligns with the center nicely for some symmetry. And you do the opposite side. Some people like to do all of the left or all of the right on all sections of the mandala first and then go back and do the other side, and that's fine too. Next, with your shades of color, I want you to go to the one that's just a little bit lighter than the one you just created, and we're going to echo what we just did with that other shade. And it's the same process, it's a special taper. Now you may find that it gets a little tight in between here, just if you get out of space, as you will either on this step or the one coming up. Just don't dot over anything that's already there. Kind of work around it, and you'll see me do that in the next step, and that'll be a little bit clearer then. So take your lightest shade now and repeat that one more time. So that's where you're going to see. I'm only going to get so far until I run into dots. So I'm just going to stop there and not interfere with anything that's already occurred. And if that happened on your previous step, that's okay. So get your pop of color for this next step. That's what we want, and we want tool 3. So your pop of color. Same pop of color that you used back here on our second step. We want that again. And we're going to align that out here one more time with our center. And I'll do that up on the opposite end so you can see these beautiful lines that we've worked on. So if anything went a little off on your way out, anytime you're making the next step on one of these lines building out from the center, take the time to align it with the middle, because you have an opportunity to adjust that alignment issue and get things moving back on track. And so the more you practice doing that, the better you'll get at that. And you'd be surprised, you can get things kind of swerving and whirving on its way out, and it is totally possible if you are conscious of the steps like this one that's moving outwards again in another step, taking the time to line it up visually with the middle, you can really do a lot of magic getting things back on track. take your lightest shade, your very lightest shade, tool 7, and what we're going to do is, I'll demonstrate this up at the top so you can see that I'm doing just the right hand side if we're looking at the top, and just like that. And so I'll keep my dots positioned up there just to keep it straight. I want to do only that side right now. There we go. Oh, I did them all. Lastly, we're going to take white paint and just echo that, what we did in the last step. And tool 7 to do it. So let's finish our unique personalized piece with our second and final layer. So on our center white dot, you're going to take tool 4 and your darkest shade and put a dot right there over top of your white. I just had trouble locating my darkest shade and my tool 4. Now I've got it. Here I go. Then the rest of this we're just using tool 7 to do some special things. So here on our third step where we've put our light shade, we're going to put on top of that with tool 7 our very lightest shade. I've got the wrong shade. Here we go. On our very dark shade here, we're going to put one degree lighter on top with tool 7. And our last step is here. This is our personalized color, our pop of color, and we're going to take out of their 3 shades our darkest one and put that in the center with tool 7. It's going to look, depending on the color you chose for your pop of color, quite vibrant compared to what you're seeing here, because you're putting contrasting colors potentially relating to each other with this one on top.